When it comes to vlogging cameras, especially if you're completely new to all of this, one of the ones that I tend to recommend is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 because of how easy and intuitive it is to use. Plus, given that Insta360 more recently introduced the Xplorer Grip Kit and their own mics, they're really working on making this a solid go-to. And since the Xplorer Grip Kit has become quite a popular addition, in this video I'll break down everything that you get in it and why you might actually want it. And I'll also run through some key settings for the Ace Pro 2 so that you know that you're getting the absolute best quality out of it when you go out to shoot your vlogs, like I'm doing now. Now, you can completely take this video with a pinch of salt, given that it is sponsored by Insta360, and I know people's opinions and views on sponsored videos, but I only talk about products on my channel that I would use myself, or that I do use myself, or products that I think you would benefit from knowing about, so take that as you will. I've used the Ace Pro 2 on a fair amount of different trips, and there are a few features that make me reach for this one over some of my other favourite action cameras. The first is by far the large flip touchscreen. It's just something other action cameras can't compete with, so if you want a bigger view, it's a complete no-brainer. The second is a built-in wind guard, and when I saw this for the first time, I thought it was such a game changer because I like as little faff as possible when I'm trying to go out and film, and even though I use wireless microphones with my other cameras, I kind of have to. I prefer not to if I can, and if I can use a shotgun mic I will, but the reason that I don't like using wireless mics most of the time is because my hair just gets in the way and it brushes against the mic and it just becomes a bit annoying, and then I just end up having to hold it, which I don't always like to do. And so having a camera where the audio comes out very clear and crisp 90% of the time is just perfect. The only time that you might hear distortion is when it's incredibly windy and the wind guard just doesn't cut out all of that wind, but otherwise the audio sounds great. And if it is an incredibly windy day, then you can always just use the Insta360 Mic Air, which you can pair via Bluetooth to the Ace Pro 2, and there's no need to attach a receiver because it just works with the transmitter. Okay, so I want you to hear what the audio sounds like from the Mic Air, and I have it with me, so I'm going to connect it real quick. I paired it previously, so it should connect automatically. I think we're actually going to have to stop recording and then do it because it's not picking it up straight away. Okay, so this is the audio that you should be hearing from the Mic Air. And previously, like I said, I was just using the audio directly from the Ace Pro 2 itself. So you should be able to hear a difference. You should be able to hear quite a difference. It's not windy, so I can't really show you or let you hear what it sounds like when you put the windshield on it because it won't really make a difference because there's literally no wind. Light breezes, but it's not really windy. But yeah, this is what the audio sounds like from the Mic Air. And when you hit the power button, you can actually start and stop the recording. So if you're using this, for example, with the X5 and you had it out on the selfie stick, you could either twist the X5 if you have the X5 and you know that you can do that, or you can just press this button, or if you were further away. So if I went across the road over here and I just wanted to talk and then I wanted to start and stop my recording because I didn't want to be the camera, then I could also do that. So yeah, that's a pretty handy feature if you are filming solo and you're not close to the camera and you just want to start and stop your recording without having to get up and move out the frame. Alright, I figured I'd just leave the mic on so that you can hear as traffic goes by how the audio sounds, and if it sounds better than when you're just using the wind guard. It should, the audio from the camera with the wind guard on. It should, because it's closer to the mouth and the quality should be better, but yeah. And there are some light breezes coming on as well, so maybe I should put I'm going to put the wind guard on it as well, actually. I do wish there was a black wind guard that came with this. Maybe there is, but I didn't get one in my packet. It's just a grey one, but it's not a big deal. It's just so that it blends in a little bit more, you know. Okay, so not too long ago, Insta360 released the Xplorer Grip Kit for the Ace Pro 2, and it also works with the Ace Pro as well. It's become quite popular for a number of reasons, but before I get into those, I will let you know first what you actually get with the Grip Kit. So in the box you get a metal utility frame to put the camera in, which means that you'll have flexibility when mounting external accessories because you've also got this cold shoe mount on the top. And you also get a cold shoe shutter button, so when you're using the grip it's a more natural way to hit the shutter button. And you also get the main thing, so the grip, which makes the camera more comfortable to hold, more like a traditional camera. I've got some thoughts about that, which I'll share a little bit later on. And there's also a decorative cold shoe cap for aesthetics. And of course, you can use that cold shoe mount for anything that you want. You also get a wrist strap to keep the whole thing secure whilst you're using it and carrying it around as well. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit cheated today because the weather said that it was going to be hot and sunny, nice and bright, and actually it's very much overcast and windy. It's not really windy, but it's enough of a breeze for me to feel cold. So I'm glad I actually went back home and got my hoodie. Anyway, I decided to come to London today to do this video instead of just being somewhere local, going to the same spots. And I'm just going to talk to you about my camera settings as well as just using this grip kit. Okay, so with that in mind, why would you actually want this grip for vlogging when you could just attach something like the selfie stick? There's a multifunctional stick tripod. It's a good one, but why not just use that instead of using this grip? I feel like the grip for me, and this is something that I think I mentioned earlier, is it's another point of contact with the camera. So if I'm shooting my B-roll, then I can hold on to the grip and have more stability when I'm getting my B-roll shots, especially if I'm trying to be really slow, my dude. So that's how I see the grip being used mainly. The one thing that I will say about this kit is that I would still use a selfie stick anyway, like I'm doing at the moment, because if you're just holding the camera with the kit oh, I love people in England. They're so friendly when they see people doing camera stuff. At least they have been to me anyway. So yeah, I'm still using the selfie stick because if I just did a clip where I was holding it with the grip, and even though it feels natural to hold, you can see my hand on the side of the frame. So that's the only thing that I would say. But if you're the kind of person that likes to shoot photos whilst you're out vlogging and you don't want to switch between using your phone and the Ace Pro 2, then you can get some pretty decent shots with the Ace Pro 2, and the grip kit does really make the Ace Pro 2 feel more like a photo camera, just a very small one. For the photos I took, I was just shooting in 50 megapixel and 4:3 aspect ratio. I honestly had the camera settings in auto. I probably could have set them to manual and played around a bit with the settings, but I have a feeling that the majority of you who want to use this for quick snaps aren't going to be faffing around with manual camera settings. So I figured showing you the photos in auto was more helpful. And this also applies to vlogging and shooting video as well. So in terms of my camera settings, they're really simple and straightforward. I shoot in auto because I don't use ND filters with the Ace Pro 2, and this is really very much a camera just for me to pick up, start filming, not have to do very much else. Oh, that looks cool in there. So yeah, very much a camera where I just want to pick it up and just go and film and not have to really think about too much to do with the settings. So 4K, 25 FPS, my EV meter is set to -0.3 so that it just takes off the edge from the highlights. And I'm not shooting in HDR, I'm just shooting in the normal video, and my sharpness is set to medium. So if I have it on low, then the footage kind of looks a little bit mushy. I swear I just walked up here. I just went around in a circle. Yeah, I have my sharpness set to medium because I feel like that gives it the best balance in terms of not looking too crisp, but then not looking soft. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. My audio I have set to voice enhancement. There were a couple other clips previously where I had it on wind reduction, so I didn't realise it had changed. But generally speaking, I tend to have my audio set to the voice enhancement, and it's just the audio that's coming directly from the Ace Pro 2 with that wind guard on, which does a fantastic job. And it is kind of windy today, as you can see the trees over there. You can see the trees blowing, so it's a bit windy. It's not horrendous, but if that wasn't on there, then you'd be hearing a lot of that wind noise hitting the microphones. But that is essentially my settings. There's actually one last thing. Load of crows up there. I think they're crows. There's one last thing that I actually wanted to say about my settings, because recently I started shooting in the 4:3 aspect ratio, because I'm starting to do a bit more with Instagram and trying to make shorts more. And so when I shoot in 4:3, then it means that I can take the clip and crop it for vertical and horizontal without doing it if I was shooting in 16:9, for example, and then cropping into that. So 4:3 I would definitely recommend if you are wanting to clip anything up and put it on social media as well. And I tend to have my field of view set to de-warp. I did have it on, what's that other one? It's Mega View when I was walking around London, but today I actually set it to de-warp because I just wanted to see what that would look like. But I go between the two. But what did I just say? Mega View is the one that I've been using mostly, but I've just recently switched to de-warp, and it looks all right. You still get quite a wide field of view, but if you want to see even more, then Mega View will do that and have as little distortion as possible. So it's just worth remembering that. I just went under some scaffolding, and so I just switched the camera into pure video, because I know that if I was in the other video mode, it probably wouldn't have looked as good. But just an example of how pure video looks. Obviously, so I'm getting towards the end of the scaffolding now, back into the normal light, and this is where you will want to turn it off, because it just ain't gonna look great. Right, there's quite a few people coming over and just walking around, and so you know what, there used to be a time where I would feel so self-conscious standing here as loads of people are walking past me and I'm talking to my camera, and I've gotten to the point where I really don't care anymore, and it's so great to be able to just walk around. People will stare at me, they're more likely just curious what I'm doing, and it's not even really staring, it's more so just I'll have a quick look and see just what I'm curious, they're just curious as to what I'm doing. But yeah, going through large groups of people, walking past large groups of people really used to set me on edge, and I'd end up just stopping talking or just kind of stop recording, and I put my camera down. There's a long line of people here that are queuing up for something. What's this? Yala Beirut.
Sorry.
That's alright. Look. Oh no, they're not going to that place, they're going to a different place. But again, me like walking past all these people here, yeah, that would have really made me feel very self-conscious in the past. But it's all good. I don't mind. I feel like the more you do it, and the more you just think, they're only going to see you for a few seconds. They don't know who you are. It doesn't really matter. So, where am I at the moment? Do you know, I'm just wandering around. No specific location, no direction. Nowhere specific to go at the moment. Just having a little mosey around. So I've dropped links in the description to all the bits and pieces that I talked about, and if you want to see all the other features about the Ace Pro 2 as well, I've dropped a link in the description to that video where I go a little bit more in depth about all of that. So see you on the next video.